Actually, I think games journalism is in a really it's in a really improving state. I think that, like, what's often sort of forgotten, I guess, within the online community, particularly where people get very heated about like very, very silly topics from time to time, is games journalism back in the day, back in the magazine era, was essentially product journalism. A lot of it was little more than like rewriting press releases and like paid for reviews and all of that sort of stuff. And a lot of it was part of the sales process of the industry. So, like official magazines, for instance, if you think about it, they're kind of a ridiculous kind of construct, right? Imagine Universal Studios having its official Universal Studios magazine, right? You would think that's just really bizarre. But for games, because it was a young medium and it was largely kids, that those kinds of critical distinctions, if you like, those ethical kind of distinctions, they didn't really exist. Whereas nowadays, you get a number of sites like Polygon or Giant Bomb or plenty of them, where they have an identity, Rock Paper Shotgun, they have an identity of like experience journalism, I guess. They're forming a critical dialogue around games, which I think is very interesting. There's a certain degree of authorship and there's a certain degree of like Pauline Kael-esque kind of game criticism that's kind of coming through. And a lot of it is incredibly useful and I think helpful within the context of the industry because it gives voice to the idea that there's more to games than just, selling discs to kids, like that kind of stuff. And so for me, I personally think games journalism has been doing very, very, very good things. I think it's been really good at helping to hero a lot of indie games, particularly to help discover a lot of games that otherwise would sort of go completely unnoticed. I think there's a lot of very conscientious writers working within the games journalism space now. I think there's some who aren't, but that there's a lot of rounded coverage, if you like, of what it is to be in gaming that didn't exist or didn't exist to any great extent, let's say 20 years ago, And so I'm a big fan of, and I'm a big supporter of the idea that that sort of side of games journalism should continue to grow and evolve. Because if we don't have that, we've just essentially got, reviews and previews, and that's it. So yeah, so like why not talk about games like a grown-up medium does, and why not allow that voice to be heard? Why get all heated up about the idea that somehow that's wrong?